Hi there, it's me, Joey Hollywood, in my first video of a long time. Just a normal video, not an update. Well, actually, this is kind of an update. I know I've been posting a lot. Well, when I do post, it's about Midnights on a Drive-In. This is going to be the first video in a very long time that's not like that. This is... I don't want to give away what this is, actually. You'll find out in 2019. I know I've said this before, but I'm building a backlog of videos for 2019, some of which are the Midnights on a Drive-In episodes, and some of which are other things, and I don't want to give those away. But I have recently purchased 100 VHS tapes in for one of those other smaller projects for 2019, and I thought I'd go through them with you. Even though you don't know what this really is for, I thought it'd be fun to go through all these VHS tapes, because when I was a kid, this was the way you watched movies at home. You know, I mean, there were some people who had Laserdiscs and Betamax tapes, but I didn't know anyone like that. All I had were VHS, and in some cases I have a lot of nostalgia for particular tapes. Let's see here. Oh, we'll get to it eventually. No, this one here. This one here. Now, I owned this copy of Temple of Doom, but I hold a lot of nostalgia for these releases of the Indiana Jones movies. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I remember as a kid, I'd pop this baby into the VCR, and it would open up with this epic voice and clips from the Indiana Jones movies and go, if it's adventure you crave, excitement you want. You know, and it would like do all this stuff. It was like, an adventure does have a name, Indiana Jones.
Now on video, if it's excitement you want, thrills you seek, action you crave, then remember, adventure does have a name, Indiana Jones. Let her go.
Loved these movies, but I kind of got shortchanged on this one because it's actually down Periscope. It's a bootleg of down Periscope, but it's okay because I got one of the older releases of it. And one thing I always noticed: older VHS tapes are a lot heavier than the later ones. Because I'm not sure if I have an example here, but. Or how I'd even show that, but like old VHS tapes were a lot heavier for some reason. So let's see what else we got here. Now I remember going to the rental store and always seeing Mortal Kombat and dying to watch it, but I wasn't allowed because it was rated R. But now I feel like my life was a lie because apparently it's PG-13. I always thought the cover of this in the 90s, this symbol was everywhere. And I was always left out of the loop because I never watched the TV series, the cartoon, the movies, or the games. It's a shame. Got Lake Placid. Big, one of the bigger videos I ever did for Joey Hollywood Films was with the Lake Placid series. Still gets views today. That and Anaconda, they still do pretty well. Bible Man. So you see, also Bible Man Live. There was a period in my childhood where my mom would not let me watch quote-unquote secular movies. I was only allowed to watch Christian content. And I was a big superhero fan, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll watch Bible Man. And I fell in love with Bible Man for all the wrong reasons. It's awful. It is absolutely awful, and I was so obsessed with how awful Bible Man was. I've seen so much.
Then in his darkest hour, the words of a single book began to change his life.
Bible.
And at last, Miles Peterson felt the burning desire to know God. Inspired by the Word of God and equipped with unyielding faith, Miles pledged to fight evil in the name of God. As Bible Man.
I should probably make a video about it someday. Let's see what we got here. Subspecies. This whole franchise is based on possibly seeing the main actress naked. I think there's 2 of these in here somewhere. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, here's just another one. Here's another Subspecies. It's the same movie. I think Scream Factory just re-released these. Or it might have been Decoys. I get those ones confused. True Lies. I think everyone had a copy of True Lies. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Really good movie. Or at least I think so. I don't know. This one's a Blockbuster release. It's a previewed. Yeah, Blockbuster. Please remember to rewind. Yeah, I remember renting this a long time ago because I was obsessed with Harrison Ford as a kid. Like he was like a genre of movie to me, the Harrison Ford genre. 6 Days and 7 Nights, not a bad movie, honestly. I mean, it's not great. I'm also going off of memory from millions of years ago, but I remember thinking it was all right. Modern day pirates invade the island that they're staying on. It's interesting. Oh, here we are. Okay, so this is Excalibur. This is one of my favorite movies. I'm not sure if you can tell, but this has the most amazing poster. I'm always kind of disappointed because the Blu-ray and the DVD release does not have this poster. This poster is amazing. I love it. Great movie. It's got its problems. Like Arthur's dubbed over for the first like third of the film. I don't understand why. It's weird, but it's just a fun movie. It's a heavy VHS tape too. Oh yeah, this is definitely old. This is an old one. Look at that. I'm not sure if you can tell. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Broken Arrow. Kind of an underrated movie. It's dumb. Like they blow up like 18 helicopters in it, but it's fun. It's a fun dumb movie. I actually recommend it. If you like action movies, always wanted to though. Maybe I will. I'll watch it on lo-fi. This is a weird one. I don't know what this is. I just kind of picked it up just because I think I might actually watch it. It's weird because I remember when DVD came out, I was kind of resistant to watching DVDs because I was like, no, you gotta. I don't know. Like it just felt weird. It was like weird popping in a DVD and not hearing that hum at the beginning of the movie. I always thought it was weird. I mean, now I don't care, but when we were making the transition, I thought it was, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Hook, I remember this tape was one that I have very fond memories with. Now this is a Bionicle Mask of Light, the movie. I was a big Bionicle fan as a kid. I had the comic books from DC. I had the toys. I was crazy about Bionicle, and I was like the first one to get this. Like I knew this movie was coming out, and I came to Walmart the day it was released, and I got it. Interesting thing about this, see, there's like a blue top to this tape. As a kid, I used to think that the blue meant children's movies. But I don't know why I thought that, because there's a lot of rated R movies in here with the blue top. So I don't know why I thought that. Daredevil with Ben Affleck. I loved this movie when I was younger. I thought it was great. And I went to Walmart, I think like 5 years ago, and I saw that they had an R-rated version of this movie. And I was like, oh my gosh, I loved Daredevil, and I picked it up, and I went home and I watched it right away, and I hated it. I thought it was awful. Just, oh my gosh, it was like the aborted offspring of The Matrix and Tim Burton's Batman. It was just like the worst possible elements of those good movies that made this, oh, I hated it. So I don't know what it was as a kid that I loved this movie so much, but as an adult, I can't stand it. Here we got the Lord of the Rings tapes. Now, these bad boys, you can't tell on the camera, but they're a different material. Like they're kind of like a flat like material. It made them feel special when you like look at your tapes, and they would have like this kind of more glossy thing to it. And then there was this kind of like this, I don't know, it felt like paper. And it made the Lord of the Rings tapes feel more special. And in the back you can see like parts of it are shiny. I don't know, I just always felt really cool to me. We're gonna skip some of these. Yeah, we don't need to see those. Oh my gosh, the X-Men tape. Shiny tapes. You know, they have shiny DVDs and Blu-rays now, but they don't have the same appeal as a shiny tape. X-Men, just, it felt special because it was shiny. Yeah, I remember, I watched the crap out of this movie as a kid. And I think it holds up decently well. I mean, there's some really bad effects in it. Like, the one that sticks out in my mind specifically is the scene where he's on the motorcycle. Oh, look at this. I'm not sure if you can see it. We used to put stickers with our name and address on the tapes. I don't know why we did that, actually. Because, like, I guess maybe if we borrowed movies a lot. Oh, the SpiderMan tape. It's kind of weird. I remember my first time watching SpiderMan 2 was on VHS. And this movie looks really bad in pan and scan. Yeah, like some movies translate pretty well in pan and scan, but some movies just don't. This one looks awful in pan and scan. I specifically remember that. No, other movies that look really bad in pan and scan is anything John Carpenter ever made. It just looks awful when they do the 4:3 pan and scan. It looks terrible. You gotta watch it in its original versions. Okay, so this is Bill Cosby himself. No one was gonna buy this movie. I got it just as just to help out the people I bought all these tapes from, because no one's gonna buy a Bill Cosby tape. And I'm pretty much destroying all these anyways. But yeah, look at, and this is something else I remember. I loved the old Fox tapes. I loved how they all kind of matched on the side. It's something that they don't do anymore, really, with DVDs and Blu-rays. The Mummy. Everyone had a copy of The Mummy. What's this? Independence Day. Yeah, I watched Independence Day a crap ton when I was a kid. So it's funny too, because I actually really don't like the movie so much. But as a kid, I watched it. I actually have the comic book adaptation of this of Independence Day, and in the comic book, there's an issue 0 that has a prequel to the movie, and I remember finding that more interesting than the movie itself. Yeah, we're gonna skip that one. Lost in Space. I'm actually definitely gonna watch these before I dismantle them. Scream, Sixth Sense. Everyone I knew had a copy of the Sixth Sense. Oh, the Butterfly Effect, and a shiny tape. Don't let this shiny tape fool you. This movie is not very good. The movie can't stick to its own time travel rules, and that's my friend Chris, Aficionados Chris, YouTube channel. You should check him out. He will go on a tirade rant about the Butterfly Effect. Last Boy Scout. I remember liking this one. Oh, this person knew how to do it. This is what I used to do when I had tapes. I would leave the plastic on the outside to protect the case. Dr. No, James Bond movie. I'm not sure if you can actually see any of these. Oh, okay. I wore this tape out when I was a kid. Freaking Batman was like the most watched movie. And you know what the thing is? The fact that it doesn't say Batman on the cover, it's just the bat symbol. That's all you need. You don't need it to say Batman. You look at that, that's Batman. This tape felt important. Oh man, I have such fond memories. I watched the hell out of this movie as a kid. Highlander, the director's cut. That's cool. Sphere. I remember really liking Sphere. I don't quite remember what it's about, but I remember liking it. Got another Lost in Space tape. This one's volume 4. Armageddon. I don't really like this movie. Speed's fun. Ooh, look! I got a fresh tape. This has never been opened. Let's open it. Wow. The label looks all worn, even though it's never been opened. We got U.S. Marshals. This is the sequel to The Fugitive. Not a bad movie, actually. It's very redundant in the fact that it's kind of just the same movie over again, but bigger. But it's actually not too bad. I actually recommend U.S. Marshals. Fugitive's better. Stargate. You know, my copy of Stargate didn't have this giant text on the front, but I watched this movie a lot as a kid too. The Witness. I actually really liked The Witness when I was a little kid. Like, I think it was just because Harrison Ford was in it. Harrison Ford was a movie genre as far as I was concerned. Watched Mission Impossible a lot. I haven't seen the last 3 Mission Impossible movies. I should probably get on that. Event Horizon was a movie I desperately wanted to see as a kid, but I wasn't allowed. And I watched it as an adult, and it was probably for the best I didn't watch this movie as a kid, because it's not billed as a horror film on the trailers. It's billed as like a sci-fi thing, and it's like Hellraiser in space. It's messed up. Deep Impact was a movie I watched a lot. Don't think it's a very good movie though. Watched Left Behind more times than I probably should. Left Behind it's a movie. Ooh, I'm glad I found this one. Okay, so I remember specifically this about the Karate Kid and the Karate Kid 2. This is the Karate Kid 2. Okay, look, there's no place to pull the movie out from, and I remember this. The black with the red outline. These are actually some of my favorite tapes. But if you wanted to watch these movies, you had to open it up from the side and pull the tape out. I remember that very, very specifically. This tape actually looks brand new. This one's probably super old, actually. But yeah, I remember loving these kind of tapes. Dragonheart. Loved Dragonheart as a kid. I always wanted to rent this, but I never did, and it's probably for the best because I heard this movie's terrible. This is Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to put this one aside. I'm going to talk about this one in a bit. Small Soldiers, Joe Dante, really fun movie. Oh, look, and here, this is actually what I was, wanted to hold this one off the side for. Okay, this is the Omega Code. Deceiving, shiny tape. Shiny label, too. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's gold label. And it's distributed through Good Times. I'm not sure if any of you remember Good Times. Good Times released like the weirdest stuff. It was always like the Clampetts VHS compilation of like episodes that were in the public domain or something like that. And then they would like release the same 4 Three Stooges episodes, but it would be it would have different covers. But yeah, they released the Omega Code. That's this movie. And I remember this being one of the better Christian movies. And I think it's because it tries to be something more than just propaganda. Which unfortunately is a big problem with Christian movies. I think you can make a good Christian film. It's just, most of the time, they're just really, really bad. I think there's this old saying that the best Christian films are made by atheists. And I don't know if that's exactly true, but like if you look at some of the great Christian movies, they are most of the time made by atheists. As in the case with the sequel of this movie, which is far, far better. They're both kind of garbage, but the sequel was made by an atheist, The Omega Code 2, and this movie's awesome. This is like as far as direct-to-video type stuff goes, this movie's pretty awesome. It's kind of like it's very much inspired by like The Omen and a bunch of like specifically The Omen and The Omen 4. Really interesting movie. Very bad CGI. It's very, very cheap. But you watch it and you think, like, what makes this a Christian film? Other than the fact that it's a sequel to this one. And this movie doesn't exist in this movie's world. Very, very interesting movies, to be honest. I should probably do a video on it sometime because they are that interesting to me. This one's released by Good Times as well. It's so weird. Apollo 13. Ooh, Tora. Interesting. And I actually... It's been so long since I've seen it, but I think this is a better Pearl Harbor movie than Pearl Harbor. I watched this one a lot as a kid too. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's Young Frankenstein. Watched this one a lot as a kid. Didn't get any of the jokes until I was much, much older. And here we are, Godzilla. The American Godzilla. This one felt special as a kid because it has a bumpy cover. That's what I miss about something I wish modern day DVDs have. I miss the bumpy covers. I have no idea what this is. I just grabbed them. The Ransom with Mel Gibson. This movie's great. This is probably like just like with Harrison Ford, feeling like that was like a movie genre. Mel Gibson was like its own movie genre to me too. I used to just sneak watching rated R Mel Gibson movies just because I could, because I love Mel Gibson. I mean, he's a crazy person now, but I still think he's a fantastic actor. And if his name's on something, I'll watch it just because I like him as an actor and as a director. The X-Files. This movie's a trip. I wish that they made the X-Files into a movie series instead of continuing it on TV. I know the reason why they did continue it on TV was because it made more money on TV than it did in the theaters. Unfortunately, I think this would have been the great start of an X-Files movie trilogy or series, but unfortunately it went back to television and it just got worse and worse and worse. City Slickers. I actually really like the City Slickers movies. Both of them, actually. Let's see. What have we got in here? The Seven Samurai. Oh yeah, and then we got Men in Black. The shiny cover. The Rock. Ooh, Blade. I wasn't allowed to watch Blade as a kid, but my uncle used to let me watch it when my mom wasn't around. Blade. Blade is awesome. If they reboot Blade, I hope they get Wesley Snipes to play him again. Oh, and we were just talking about U.S. Marshals and The Fugitive. Here's The Fugitive. This movie's freaking great. Batman Forever. Not a great movie, but it still holds a special place in my heart. I had like all the toys for this movie as a kid. Universal. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen this cover for Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. And then we got the Magnificent Seven with... Oh. I don't think this is... I think this is the TV series of Magnificent Seven with Ron Perlman. Unless they had a movie. I don't know. Magnificent Seven with Ron Perlman. We're coming near the end. Oh yeah, this one's classic to me. I remember the side of this tape. Let's see if I can get it closer. Side of the tape with the pyramid. Total Recall. This movie visually plays a big part in like my looking through tapes to watch films as a kid. Let's see what else. Short Circuit. I watched Short Circuit a lot as a kid too. I'm going to push these aside, and we're going to focus on this stack over here. I'm not sure if you can actually see it. It's kind of impromptu. Star Trek tapes. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's Captain Sisko. Or, no, he's not captain at this point, he's still commander. But Paramount tapes all looked like this, regardless of what movie they were. And that was like the one thing I always liked, when the tapes would like kind of match. This is an ugly tape though. This looks like a Christian sermon that you pick up at the lobby or something. And this, oh my gosh, these are just the ugliest Star Trek tapes. This one, if you see this picture right here, you can pop that picture out and it's a card. I don't know why, but when you slide the tape in, the title of the episode, the label, will perfectly fit in there. I don't know why. It's just kind of a cool thing. I actually had the entire series of Star Trek: The Next Generation on VHS tape. They were in these huge... Actually, I still have one. I'll be right back. Yeah, I can't remember. It was like 80, maybe 100 tapes, and they all looked kind of like this. There were just so many freaking tapes. And I actually have some of the worst episodes on here. Peak Performance and Shades of Grey. Then I also have a original series Betamax. But yeah, I had every episode of Next Generation on VHS. And one day this article came out saying those tapes were going to be worth like $500. I don't know if that was true, but I called my grandma. I was like, hey, I know those tapes I have in your garage. I want to sell them. They might be worth $100, $100 to $500. And she told me she gave them the Goodwill like the day before. It sucked so much. Another Star Trek Deep Space Nine, 2 episodes, Way of the Warrior. I remember liking that episode. Let's see. Measure of a Man. Ooh, Next Generation, Measure of a Man. People always say the first 2 seasons of Next Generation are awful. I think the first season is borderline unwatchable, but season 2 it's really coming into its own. And Measure of a Man is one of the best episodes of the entire series. Fistful of Datas. Oh my gosh, if you have not seen Fistful of Datas, it is amazingly weird. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, this is Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. The Star Trek tapes were amazing when I was a kid because they all lined up on the side and they created an image. And the amazing thing was if you had 2 sets of those 6 tapes, they'd actually form an image. From one side, you'd have like the Enterprise on one side, and the other side it would have like something else. And if you had all 6 tapes twice, so 12, 2 of each, it would actually form a huge picture. I don't know why you'd have 2 of each movie, but that was just something that you could do. Here's another Deep Space Nine with a card that you can push out of the front. That's one thing I don't like about like DVDs is like you can't have like fun stuff like that. I don't know why you want to do that, but it's like, I don't know, Sins of a Father. The Enemy, you know, I just watched this episode like a week ago. This is annoying. Okay, this is Deep Space Nine Past Tense Part 1. Why the hell would you just have one part on a VHS tape? Why? Yeah, you know, that's it. I just wanted to share this with you. I'm sorry I can't reveal why I have 100 VHS tapes, but you will find out probably in December why I have this many VHS tapes. It's going to be interesting. It's a surprise. But thank you for watching me ramble about something that really doesn't matter. I know the audio is going to be terrible on this video, but you know, thank you for bearing with me. I know I haven't made a lot of videos this year. I just got a lot of stuff going on, and when I come back to YouTube in January, I'm going to be building up in December, and then I'm going to be full-fledged going on in January. You guys are going to be in for a real treat. I have a lot of stuff planned for you. I'm building my empire all in advance, and hopefully it pays off. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me even after almost a year-long hiatus. I'll see you next time. Whatever video that might be, it'll probably be an update video on Midnights. I'll see you later.